Well, there we go. Giving them all a chance to shout out their favorite team, and well, FunPlus Phoenix coming out ahead in that one. And how can you not like this one? The Yasuo picked up here for the mid lane for Doinb.
But you start doing math, and we already got to 1 when it comes to amount of knock-up friends that Yasuo has. I can also count to 3, and it's 3 kind of losing presence lanes. I'd say level 1, level 2 is always strong, but of course, the moment you have that win wall, you can be pretty active around minion waves and get some control in the mid lane. You'd always take Lucian, Lux, and in the early game, the Renekton in the Vlad matchup, you get to take a little bit of ranged harass, but mostly you can kind of shrug it off with something like a Doran Shield. So Nocturne doesn't have a lot of strong lanes to jungle around and then double down at level 6, so very interested to see what the pathing looks like here. He's actually going to get a topside leash from the Vladimir.
Yeah, I want to see what we get out of Tien as well. A lot of the times teams, when they go up against FPX, they try and hard force the 2v2 mid because that's where they're strongest. Doinb and Tien, whenever they have shove, they do want to rotate consistently to be able to either get a dive on topside or bot lane, especially where the trading is going to be heavy for LWX and Chris. So that's going to be a primary focus for me. I would be surprised if Suhao is going to be able to get much of a hand on his own Raptors with how this mid lane should be going.
Isn't it fun that you can see 2 runes that really play into a champion's playstyle? The Renekton and the Sylas both with Last Stand, and that's what those champions are famous for, turning around 1v2s or surprising heals from Call of the Meek or the Kingslayer on the side of the jungle. Sylas, so a little fun thing there and a little option you might consider in solo queue. For now, at least, Gimgoon being very respectful. It's a full topside clear from Tian, going for the quick level 3. Sylas does have a lot of trouble even clearing the jungle without 3 abilities to be able to spam up his passive.
Gimgoon respectful for now. We'll see if he can put on some pressure, especially before that Vladimir does get up and running to that level 9.
Oh, it's the new Yasuo skin.
Yeah.
The final boss Yasuo, all right.
Looks nice. Very shiny.
No sellout over here. Not Riot casters, by the way.
By the way, that Teemo figurine, limited edition, it's very popular
and
here. It's got the X's
could
on
we
his
interest
eyes.
the stream in the exclusive Rift Rivals mousepad available only at the store here? Just come on down. I'm sure you're all within walking distance of Zhangcheng Arena.
I picked one up myself.
If we talk about the games, it might be sadder. So we'll just do some sellout for now.
I appreciate that. Maybe get myself some dead Teemos. There's going to be a few dead champions.
This game is definitely building towards some crazy team fights that could be pretty bloody, but for now we know that Suhao is most interested in just farming, so he's a bit of a hater of the kill a minute action.
That was a nice ward here. Gimgoon having good vision of Suhao on the top side of the map. It allows, Tien to be able to do his work bot side, but great trade on him.
Conqueror was the decision here from Gimgoon, which is much more for the extended all-in rather than the press the attack you might have assumed for the burst trades. Renekton can proc that entirely with his W if he has enough rage. Speaking of rage, this might be rage-inducing.
No vision here. He has to flash away. They do get the knock-up, but we're just at level 4. But that is still a successful gank to take that summoner away from Null.
Yeah, early summoner, and Null is finding it incredibly difficult to fully shove this wave into the turret. Doinb is going to have this freeze, it seems. At least took this wave across, but this is tough for Null. I mean, remember, one of the greatest things at FPX here is being able to time summoners, be able to come back ganks on the mid lane, so already having a tough time here.
And I don't like Suhao's pathing. He's thinking about, can I find an angle on top side, when he should be pathing to mid lane and doing the one thing Nocturne can do, Pre6. It can help you push. He's got an AoE pushing spell that he uses to clear the waves, so he's not helping his mid lane, and now we're having a bot lane party, and Dashing Buffalo only now start to get the full information.
You can see it was just a simple trade from the bottom side. On the side of FunPlus, Phoenix was able to press the attack onto that Ezreal. Fortunately for Figueroa, he is able to get a bunch of his health back.
That is the most aggressive control ward you could ever imagine to be placed at 5 minutes. He puts a control ward on the enemy side. He knows that Nocturne is pathing towards the top side because he hasn't been shown anywhere, so he must be going for the Krugs. The counting of camps and when they respawn is a pretty standard thing to do. But Zhuhao not helping with the push in mid lane suits Doinby just fine, and of course the bot lane was able to be the profit from it as well.
At least Big Koro and Pallet are able to sustain throughout these trades. Seems like Tian's going to be able to get him here.
All right, nice spell shield there. Going to keep him alive for now, but here comes Doinby, and he's level 6. He's looking for it, and the wind wall is perfect. There's that flash on in, and Zhuhao doesn't have much left available, but the fear will come in. It might be enough.
No way.
He's doing it!
I spoke too early. Another spell shield, though, comes in, but the knockup from that Silas, as you mentioned, and he might survive. No, Nal is going to put him in his grave finally, and it looks like Chris might just pay for it as well on the backside. A double kill here. Banal in the mid lane.
Great comeback. It just seemed like Doinby and Tian had a one-track mindset to get that kill. Zhuhao played it as well as he could with the spell shield. At least they were able to get something back from it, but take a look at this.
And Zhuhao level 5, the spell shield, like you mentioned, is great because it actually opens up space, but you can tell what Doinby is trying to do here. He's in front of the Korean crowd, never played in Korea, as a player who right now, I think it doesn't require an LPL analyst to say this, I think he's probably the best player to have never made Worlds that is around and still playing the game. He's trying to prove himself to the domestic fans here, going for style play, trying to make people in Korea speak Doinby with the same reverence they do in China, but it's far, far too forced. In the end, will it matter? Maybe no, but for now, it's a kill trade up for Dashing Buffalo.
You can see him, he was trying to dash in and out of the turret range. He ended up taking so many turret shots on the backside. Maybe if they could have juggled the aggro a little bit better, it would have looked a little bit less inty, you could say there, or forced is another way to put it, in that dive. But either way, I mean, they're just looking for kills. That was only at 6 minutes.
Does mean that Zhuhao, very surprisingly, gets to level 6 and without too much damage to his name. Died once, but it was a trade up overall from FBX. And now you wonder, with some summoners on cooldown, Lux not good against gap close and can't scout out with the E a Nocturne as easily.
And a lot of those summoners were expended because of that play. I mean, no flash on the Yasuo. If we're just talking about how to be able to set up a gank through mid, yeah, both Sleepy Trouble Bubble and the Nocturne Fear should be fine at being able to take down that one cleanse and still make the gank happen. So that's something to take a look at, but Zhuhao seems to be looking bot lane.
We're level 6 and we're fighting. No flash, no heal on the Lux in the bottom lane. Final chapter trying to be red here. It is going to lock him down. Can Big Koro do the damage is the question.
One more.
X is going to force to be flashed away, but here comes the TP. After he goes down, can Gimgoon do it all by himself? He's looking for the Ezreal. The flash comes through, and he will at least be able to pick up one kill.
They send the bleeding a little bit, but that's a nice setup. We talked about how Lux is a very likely recipient of an aggressive gank. A lost chapter actually only came up from the kill credit involvement from the Yuumi. Teleport comes in. Lane swap from Lucian. Could try to stay here for 10 minutes, and the Rift Herald, and Ryzo just wants to get out, wants to push this one and shove. This could be a big momentum shift towards FBX. They can go, send all members bot side, and then group with Lucian and take the Rift Herald to get the Infernal and off-spawn Rift Herald duo basically instantly.
Yeah, it did look a little bit messy, of course. The Nocturne kind of doing his job, but they dive all the way in. They get the response kill, and those big objectives you mentioned were picked up by FPX.
And take a look at this once again. You already mentioned Summoner off of Lux, easy gank to come across. Well executed by both the Lost Chapter, or Final Chapter is, alongside Big Koro to make the second kill happen. The teleport came in, would seem a bit late. They didn't think that the kill would come through on the LWX, and at least Gimgoon gets a trade across.
You're right in just terms of, yay, we got a kill, we're not being wiped.
Yeah.
But it is another full minion wave to Vladimir as he gets closer and closer to level 9, so you don't even feel ideal about it. Gimgoon just wanted to pick up the kill, and sometimes staving momentum can be an important thing. First use of the paranoia, always something we inspect these globals. It was a good one. The second use is very clearly going to be in bot side as Zhuhao is on into the camp and then some.
Yeah, Flash is still down by Crisp. Same with Doinby. The opening is still available, so
Theo
let's see if we can
Guardian.
get another one.
Theo Guardian is up. Something to remember. Here we
There
go.
go again. He's out of vision, so they got to go on the Lucian here. Final chapter will lock him down. And LWX with no flashes here. And they might just get a 2-for-1. Not quite, as the Q is going to go wide from the Ezreal. But another successful gank in the bottom lane.
By hook or by crook, they do it. They have to land everything. Not everything is clean, but they get the kill. This was very transparent to the side of FBX, and yet it was still successful. And why is Crisp still here?
He needs to get out, but at least he has Tien around.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, Shuhao, you went a little bit too far this time around, and now the final chapter. They're under the turret. Thankfully, they have some minions, but here comes Tien. He's thinking about it here. Nice amount of burst damage. Will be able to take down Big Koro, as Crisp is going to come in and take that kill. And, oh, boy. We're killing the cats in the bot lane. No mercy for the cat down there. So a bunch of extra kills go the way of FPX after that big-time dive.
And you know what? We needed extra context. Why he's still there. Quickly, the Silas showed why.
Yeah, it comes right down bot lane. Remember, he has Conqueror's easy trade to be able not just protect them, but to keep them firm, keep them steady. The pick up on the final chapter ultimate. Nice bait. I didn't expect the flash. When Nocturne flashed over, ended up paying for it.
Choose one adjective to describe that level of baiting, Raz.
Unfortunate.
I would have chosen masterful, but
yeah.
This was a really extended chase here. Big Koro is dying. Sadly, the cat doesn't have flasher boots, so you know what? You're going to die here.
Yeah.
What is there to say?
Oh.
What did we miss on the top side, though?
Well, he went in here.
Perhaps a kill, as, oh boy, Raizo got a little bit too close there. Had to flash away.
Nice moment overall from Gimgoon, though, with no Ignite, obviously, to finish off the kill. We talked about the earlier 10-minute potential to pick up this Rift Herald. We're not too far from there. FBX, since they turned the map, are trying to dominate it.
And you can see that Big Koro and Paladin downstairs. And, well, Shuhao, all alone, he takes the Paranoia, but is not going to use that ultimate just yet. TP comes in from those guys, as Gimgoon is already just disengaging, looking to catch the wave down bot after the Rift Herald goes the way of FPX.
But this is what you were alluding to, Papa Smithia, the fact that they can just play back to the top side Rift Herald, end up picking it up for themselves, looming over, just in case nothing ends up happening.
Doyen B seems to be positioning more for the outplay than anything, and again, can understand that with kind of the level and the feel of the game so far today. Dashing Buffalo still in this one, only 500 gold behind, but the two objectives, Infernal and Rift Herald. Rift Herald probably represents money soon, and speaking of money soon.
Wow, really? Is that where you're going to be throwing that?
That's pretty good scouting, honestly.
Yeah.
Good idea. As, okay, Rift Herald comes in. Final chapter going to be red to Gimgoon here. But he's looking to turn it around. And Pallet, where are you going? You got to stick to your friend there. They will eventually get the Renekton, but that's just going to be it as Doinby, he's on a mission here going all the way in the back line. Will be punished for it. Tien will at least be able to lock him down with the help of Crisp, as they are really trying to show off here in this game.
Yeah, punished heavily. Doinby goes over the wall, but at least they can say that they took the mid lane turret because the Rift Herald did the work for them.
Gank Rush. Nope, not a Gank Rush. Definitely not Fnatic Rush is what we got going on over here. Raizo will get away from it. It is killer minute action. We've kind of been craving this for a lot of the tournament. We start with the replay here, and the big thing is that this final chapter was a bit of a page turner. They went through it really quickly, and it was quick reading, and the cat dies to start things off.
Yeah, the Sustainer Renekton actually kept them in it a lot longer, so FPX had a chance to take this fight. But take a look at the pathing here from Doinby. Still wants to be able to get out, probably just wants to E through the double members.
I mean, you call it pathing. He just kind of went into three people.
What are we looking for, boys?
I mean, a little bit more foresight into how strong he was and how many enemies there were. Am I asking for too much, Raz?
Yes.
Okay.
Doinby has one mission. He picks Yasuo. He's here to make the YouTube highlight plays.
I mean, I think he just should have
He's not
renamed.
going to run away.
He should have just been going forward this game instead of doing B. Because he is super aggressive, super on point, trying to make that big moment. Dashing Buffalo pushing through the top side, but as a reaction, FBX picking up a lot of gold.
Absolutely. So, nice little push up here in the top side. Gimgoon gonna shut that down. Take a look at the difference in plates down in the bottom side. That's a cool 960 going the way of FPX.
And a cool 0 going the way of Dashing Buffalo. I mean, this is the potential 0-11 game.
That was literally just the worst Buffalo in a China shop. Plates just kept alive.
Well, here we go. 4-on-1. Can they do it? The answer is going to be yes, as Pallet was tanking the majority of that turret somehow.
FPX trading up on the bot side, though. Starting to get into that festival atmosphere that some of the games have been played on. Lucian at the by the Rune King mark. Renekton dead, so right now the lane buster build isn't going to mean much, and Raizo has the same sort of items we saw from Noguri before he really started to turn on the styles, so there's always that hope, always that prayer that Vladimir can just carry a team almost solo in the late game. Gonna watch this replay. There's 4 members here, and Gimgoon definitely overstayed.
Yeah, I thought he could outplay there. Remember, clearing out the wave, at least protecting the turret, keeping his team, getting their good base times off on the bot side of the map.
Your glass is really half full over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your cup is runneth over, you might say. Well, that was, that's a decision you can make, and Gimgoon has to live with it for the rest of his long career. All going to push through mid-side. And look, playing to the Zoe lane might help with sieging, because right now, with no turret behind her, you can't be as cute at trying to poke around win walls when you make the wrong move and Yasuo all-in potential is super high.
Yeah, now just casually picking up 3-0-1 scoreline so far, and you can tell now with the Ludens that he's looking for opportunities, but here comes the flank. Gimgoon looking to come into the backside. Paranoia trying to just get it out of the way of that Renekton, and it looks like perhaps the disengage as the final chapter will lock down Doinby and stop him from coming in.
Very clean disengage Paranoia use. Read the situation well, to credit to him, because he was able to both waste the time of the flanking Renekton and also use the ult to taxi him into a defensive position overall. So nice little play there.
They can just rehash that play, Dashing Buffaloes, that is, just around the mid lane, being able to chip down that turret. So understanding that the side lane was a possibility coming in from Renekton. That's 2 times now that Renekton on side trying to come in for a flank has been cut off. So Gimgoon getting a bit frustrated here.
Still, Dashing Buffalo can reset the map for now. If you look at the control wards, Dashing Buffalo in a pretty decent spot with those. It has been kind of a conspicuous thing today, as the vision level has been down and the aggression level up, which sometimes is a reflection of your opposition and your confidence coming into a game. Why waste the vision when you can put it into damage that kills people? Speaking of, Tian trying his chances.
Yeah, as we mentioned, we were talking about Doinby just going face forward. Tian, if he has the Yasuo nearby, he'll at least force the pool to get away from that Vladimir.
I mean, this is just good lane assignment here from FPX. Vladimir can't do much to be able to join his team underneath his tower consistently. And LWX, though, he might get opened up on his section mid lane just so they can get constant trade on Big Koro. But, I mean, you can just see Chris was roaming around with the jungle, so had an opportunity to be able to isolate LWX.
And Noel has a lot of items. CS for CS, but the 3 kills his way, 300 bounty. A lot of gold already on. It's not double pen, it is the CDR boots. I'm sure that's going to be useful with flashes in this game, but just a point of order there. They can't trifle around the Zoe too much. Juha being chased.
Good last second spell shield once again. It's been a very key ability for the Nocturne. We were kind of surprised to see that Nocturne come in here a little bit out of meta, but so far it's been good to at least escape the Sylas aggression.
And there are comps that I think Nocturne can definitely be exploited if you can baby him through laning phase, and if you can baby Sejuani, why not a Nocturne is kind of the thing you could ask on that. Lux, for example, as a champion, has always been shut down by gap closers like the Nocturne. Varus, AD carry, for example, is still being mixed in, so there still is going to be scenarios where that works. But here, with so much teamfight and brawl, the Nocturne timing can be turned on really, really easy. Throw up the gold difference graph. Does show you that even though a lot of the map looks pretty kind to Dashing Buffalo, the items are still in FPX's favor.
Yeah, they're having a fun time. They also did pick up that Infernal Drake earlier on from that messy fight that we did have in the bottom side. Also a Cloud Drake, a second one here. Looking to be picked up currently by Tian and Crisp right now.
Yeah, no contest for this Cloud Dragon, but all eyes are on Suhao. Possibility to be able to go on top of Renekton. Don't think they have an eyes on him, but one thing I really want to see is, Dashing Buffalo taking advantage on FPX trying to take on side lane, putting Doinby on the bot side, with a Vladimir may seem okay, but really hard to catch out the Nocturne on Vision when he has his ultimate up and locked in. One more level before he can put another rank. I think this is a great position for Dashing Buffaloes, honestly.
I actually appreciate, though, Doin B's item choice has gone Steric second. We actually see PD full damage recently, and this is a build that kind of left the meta a little bit. It allows you to overextend. If you're going to lead with your face as Yasuo, go the tankier build that lets you kind of fish for your knock-up a bit more aggressively. We already talked about how he can't just chill and wait for a Gragas barrel. He does have to have no chill in the fights, so the build fits it, and if you're going to try and play 3 lanes with no TP on the Yasuo, it does make sense.
Definitely is a feel-good build here, as Dashing Buffalo just trying to make the most use of their Zoe as possible. See if they can get any picks down, and now they're looking for a potential pick onto Gimgoon.
Here we go.
Ryzo just gonna run straight at him here. Here comes the Nocturne. Hemoplague already down. Flash into the turret, but Ryzo, he's not messing around. Suhao wants to tank it up, but the stun comes in.
No way!
And the health regen is gonna be enough, and Gimgoon will shut him down underneath the turret.
That's what we were hoping for from Suhao and Ryzo, but when it comes to the execution, just completely blown away by Gimgoon.
It's almost like they were shouting, by the way, Nocturne's coming in, as they came up for the gank. And by the time they went in, Nocturne could only tank the turret for the Vladimir to finish off the kill. We were eye-opened by how much damage it opened, but didn't have the lethal dose at the end. Renekton turns around a gank. Who's to say that's a surprise? Tian fishing, but doesn't find any more.
And then Renekton, I mean, we just talked about it earlier today. You don't want a 2-on-1 Renekton, even underneath the turret, especially underneath the turret. And that one was kind of a 1v1 under the turret, at least. And Gimgoon from ahead showing why that Renekton has some power and why it's picked so often.
But that's the key point. The turret needs to be taken down. If we're talking about Nocturne opening up lanes, those lanes need to be open. And so Renekton being able to just turtle up underneath tower in that 2v2. If Suhao was simply able to join his friend there, then that's great. That's fine. Gimgoon should be dead.
And for example, if there was a ward in the brush and they were able to dive in on the Nocturne and get, say, 300 damage off, there would have been a kill. But at about 200, falls to 100 health, Gimgoon comes in. The Call of the Meat gives you a casual 400 worth of healing. The plan was just too transparent. Speaking of plans...
Oh, good read on the binding there, Chris. He wanted his own highlight from this one, as here comes the Silas from the other side. And now it is just the landslide of FPX rolling over Dashing Buffalo. Ryzo all alone, somehow able to pick up LWX on the backside, but that's 4-1 in favor of FPX.
Happened real quick just off the replay, so I was wondering if they wanted to be able to go for the inhibitor turrets, but with Vladimir just sitting there, easy Baron to pick up.
And it's been the LPL special today. A bit of an indifferent 20 minutes into decisive fight, Baron, and game closeout. That's what they've been looking for with their tanks. The turret dive potential is huge from FPX, and that Baron buff is an afterthought.
Down it does go. Ryzo just doing whatever he can, which is, he will get this tier 1 mid turret, but it is nothing compared to what FunPlus Phoenix just picked up.
And this is what you hate to see happen, because Suhao has been escaping for so long, but flashing straight into it.
Flash binding, beautiful from Chris. That's the reason they get all of this, and the stolen away, hijacked ultimate allows for the eventual chase. Gimgoon this time is under a turret, but this one's an enemy one. This one's under his own terms.
And sits there, tanks it up, casual stun right onto that back line. And yeah, I mean, the Nocturne into the Silas may be early on, but when you're behind, TN just says, hey, I can be Nocturne as well.
I think some of the Korean fans who were in the audience today probably bought a ticket to see one of their heroes in Rookie and the Shy or Duke play. Seeming unlikely, guys. The 0-11, the specter of it, is looming large. Gimgoon can't just burst down Vladimir. That's not an easy thing to do, but who's going to catch who in transition here as we fight through the red side jungle?
Looking for the final chapter again. A blasting plan is going to be a big savior, as now Tian taking a bunch of damage on the backside. Nice little dash away. He's going to just laugh at him as he gets away from that one.
The silent lane right now is top lane. Yasuo is being left to this one. Of course, Zoe finally joins, but with all that damage being placed down, here's another opening.
All right, just trying to force it here. It feels like, where is the damage? Where is it coming from? I don't see any of it, as they're full health. on the red side here. Zuhao immediately going to go down after that GA. You can see Raizo desperately trying to do some damage, but now he's all alone. And this is really just a one-slided landslide over to FPX again.
They saw the Renekton, and the moment you have eyes on that and Vladimir can't pursue forward, it just seems all hope is lost.
It does appear that way for the LMS VCS combo, and specifically for Dashing Buffalo. FPX, just like in game number 1. LPL team gets Baron. They're styling. It seems like right now, the match timer will extend, but the pace of this game has really been one way ever since the Baron went down.
Take a look at the replay. You can see they're just desperately trying to get damage down onto the AD carry, but there was none.
Yeah, it's just a solo dive in, and the healing from the redemption just turns it instantly, and suddenly everyone's out of position. Gingun's scouted by a Mystic shot, but still does so much work on the bottom side of this fight.
I mean, just the light bindings consistently from Chris landing there too, because even though the final chapter was able to just stun 2 members, I mean, what are you going to be doing as Nocturne? You can't follow up with you just sitting there.
I'm always looking for new adjectives, and Crisp is aptly named for this game. He has been on point with his skill shot accuracy on the Lux, one of the now super standard meta picks in the support role. Baron buff power play. It isn't quite what we saw in game number 1, but 4,500 without breaking into a sweat.
It does feel similar, maybe not as able to close the game as fast as that game number 2, but it's kind of just Baron into I'm going to roll my face over the keyboard and kill you a bunch of times. As nice footwork there from Null. He's at least able to get away. He's had a decent game, but not too much support from his team so far.
And now Dashing Buffalo have 1 roll of the dice left, or they will just watch on like Flash Wolves and lose the game around them. Final Spark, not going to be a lot of damage from the support roll, but we're running out of objectives to defend on the side of Dashing Buffalo.
One thing that's fun is FPX doesn't have a bot lane wave to roll with. They're going to be throwing Renekton now at it, but they're the type of team, if they just have 2 waves, 2 lanes, they'll just commit to the dive. So with the build that we have already, Asterix Gage from, you already mentioned, and Duumbi, he's more than willing to look for it.
I mean, the guy's just packing up all the different swords and gloves and everything. He's just having a grand old time building whatever item he wants. Has a ton of CS already at 28 minutes into the game. And once again, it just feels like the LPL came in here to play, whereas can't really say the same on the opposite side. It has been one-sided today.
And it's disappointing because the LMS was reinforced by the VCS to have a bit more competition after last year not really being able to find anything. Flash Wolves found, I believe, 1 or 2 game victories. No other team did. Paranoia popped, and this is a stolen one.
Looking for it on the backside here is TN. Not quite going to dive as, okay, stopwatch. Let's see if the damage can come out. Good flash away as Raizo is going to have to get out of there himself. But, yeah, kind of just playing with their food, going super deep, looking for kills.
Just trying to skip steps to end the game faster as FBX. But again, to finish the point, they brought in the VCS side to amp up the squad. So to have a worse result than last year, where only Flash Wolves could pick up game victories, is obviously very, very disappointing for, you know, a region that is the combination of the newest major region and, of course, a World Championship region now 7 years ago in the LMS.
We will have to wait and see what they can do as the years come along. But right now, the message is being sent. The LPL is the strongest region amongst these 2. We are going to have to wait and see.
I was like, you're an LCK caster. What you doing, mate?
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Well, you know, LWX wants to believe it. But okay, they're going to take the GA away here. At least, as you can see, kind of just desperately save his teammate, but can't really do much of that either. As Gingun not even going to lose that GA. And that's going to be the end of that.
Yeah, second Baron is on the Rift. Feels like FBX can fall back to whatever objective they want. Dashing Buffalo.
Oh, okay, nice amount of burst damage here, even from the Yuumi. Just easily going to sidestep that one, though. As binding just to keep them away. Baron's available, so FPX gonna set up for that now. As, oh boy, where you going, Newbie? You're all alone. And Doinby's looking for the kill, but it's stolen again by Tien.
Died before the Yasuo ultimate animation come off, but no, watch yourself.
Oh boy, where are you going? Underneath the turret, they're not stopping as in goes LWX. They want all the kills, a huge amount of health regen, but Tien is gonna go down as finally the ace will come through on the side of FPX.
Yeah, and it looks like the doors are closing with the wave being pushed up here too. All you have is how to defend yourself.
That is absolutely not going to be enough. At 31 minutes here, it looks like the LPL on the backs of FPX to finish it off will be taking game number 3 and will earn a spot into our final day of Rift Rivals tomorrow against the LCK.
And that means 3 years in a row, Rift Rivals' final day has been a best of 5 between the LCK and the LPL. We saw it coming, of course, coming into a day where LMS and VCS had recorded no victories.